Hey YouTube, right here again, and smoking my David Jones custom poker, very first custom pipe I ever had done. Well, my first David Jones. Anyways, um, one of them. I want to talk about something here. It's a little different, as you guys know. I've always maintained this this channel. I've always kept it about not about me necessarily, but mainly about tobacco reviews and pipes. And I'm really glad that I've stayed the course in this channel, and I've maintained it, strictly about that, instead of just coming out here and just talking about myself. But every now and then I think you got to make a video that's important to make. So today, this video, I'd like to do that particular thing. Let me just move this a little bit. There we go. And this is only because there's certain comments that you guys have been leaving on my videos. Which, by the way, thank you very much, guys, to everyone who comments on my videos. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I do appreciate, and I read every single one of them. I'm sorry if I don't. As of lately, I just haven't been able to reply to every single one like I used to be able to do. But I do read them, and I do watch videos. That's in my spare time. That's all I do exclusively. I just watch YouTube videos. That's what I do. So I watch all your videos. But anyway, let me just get back on point here. I just wanted to mention that only because I feel it's important. But what I want to do here is I want to sort of give advice, I think, to all you new pipe smokers, as far as the kind of blends, the kind of tobacco that new beginners should look into, should try first. And not get stuck on something else that might not help you, that might instead just discourage you from continuing the hobby. And like I said, this is brought about because of some replies, some comments that have been left on some of my videos. Not negative at all, but it just got me thinking. This is advice that I've given before in my videos, like a couple years back or something like that. But I think it's important to continue, especially for guys like us who have been here for a little bit now, to every now and then bring it up again. Just continue making that kind of giving that kind of advice to beginners. I think it's important because that's how beginners continue to learn. That's how I learned. But anyway, again, I keep rambling off. I want to talk to you guys about what kind of not necessarily blends you should try when you're a beginner, but perhaps what brands. I think it's more important. What brands I think would be best for you guys to try, because of course, when you start off, you don't want to invest a lot of money into this hobby because you don't know if you're going to like it, especially if you've never done it before and you're just trying it for the first time. Of course, you're going to go out and buy an over-the-counter blend. Captain Black. You're probably going to buy Captain Black. Nothing wrong with that tobacco, by the way. I still smoke Captain Black. But if you're a beginner, Captain Black might not be the right choice. But at the same time, of course, you don't want to, or everybody will tell you, well, start off easy, start off with a mild tobacco, and work your way up. Develop your palate, develop a taste for the tobacco, and just continue gradually work your way up. While I do agree with that suggestion, I myself will not give you that kind of advice. So instead, I would say to all you new beginners, don't necessarily start off mild, okay? Don't start off with just Virginias. Start off with a little flavor. Get that flavor in your smoke. Don't buy the kind of tobacco that's not going to give you any flavor, because that's just going to discourage you. Get something that's got latakia in it, something that you might not like the flavor, but at least you'll have flavor, and you'll know that there is flavor to be had from smoking a pipe. So, I think a lot of people start off with Lane tobaccos. They start off with Sutliff tobaccos. While I have absolutely no problems buying Lane tobaccos or Sutliff, they're some of my favorites. One of my all-time favorite tobaccos come from Sutliff. So there's nothing wrong with that. Me personally, I think that there's brands out there that use better tobacco that I think will enhance your experience a lot more than buying a Sutliff blend that might be too mild and not give you any taste at all, any flavor. My advice, I think, if you were to begin, I would advise, and mind you, this is just my opinion, I would say, for all new beginners, I would say start off with McClellan tobaccos. And the reason why I say McClellan is simply because, of course, they have a huge variety, first of all, most of which you can buy in bulk, meaning you can buy an ounce that will cost you, anywhere between $3 or $4. And it's a nice way of trying, different blends. But I think McClellan's has just that kind of, that kind of tobacco that is very flavorful in all kinds of tobacco that they use. I think they use some of the best. And in conjunction with McClellan, maybe I would say Cornell and Deal. Again, we're talking about a brand that has just an enormous array of tobaccos, and their quality, I think, it's kind of up there. I would tend to say that McClellan. I wouldn't say McClellan's a little bit better, but I think McClellan just has sweeter tobaccos. Not necessarily aromatics. I'm not talking about aromatics. I'm just talking about just, sweeter blends, if you will. Even Englishes they just have a little bit more richer flavor, flavorful blends. Not that Cornell and Deal doesn't, because they do. But, I don't know. I tend to be, on taste, I tend to go with McClellan over Cornell and Deal, even though I've purchased more Cornell and Deal than I have McClellan. So, but that is, that would be above Sutliff and Lane tobaccos. Again, nothing wrong with those two. And to that, if you're buying from pipesandscigars.com, one of the biggest, places to buy online, Hearth and Home. Hearth and Home tobaccos, again, huge selection. You can buy in bulk, and they're, pretty good, nice, high-quality tobacco in Hearth and Home blends. Enough to say that, they would be right up there with McClellan and Cornell and Deal. And of course, you would not have to I don't want to say waste your money, but spend your money unwisely on blends that you might not enjoy, that you might not get a lot of flavor from, such as Sutliff blends, especially Sutliff Englishes. I think, for my taste, a lot of their Englishes are just very mild. A lot of people like mild, so there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're beginning, I think it's a lot more important for you to taste flavor, even if it's going to be flavor that you're not going to like. I think it's a lot better. It's a lot. You gain more by tasting something than by getting tobacco that's not going to give you any taste. There's not this, like I said before, it might just discourage you from trying, from smoking a type of blend that you might otherwise love if you just tried a better blend, just a slightly higher blend than that. And of course, a lot has to do with money, but it's worth it in the end, to just go just a little higher. Now, to that, of course, if you're buying from a big store like pipesandcigars.com or smokingpipes.com or Four Noggins or all those big places, of course you're going to find almost the same tobaccos. But definitely, my advice would be for new pipe smokers to go with McClellan, to go with Cornell and Deal. Maybe even move into McBaron's tobaccos. We're talking high quality, flavorful blends that are going to give you, I think, a lot more for your money than buying, slightly lesser, brands that, of course, you pay less for them, but you don't get anything out of them. And to that, of course, there's what I would consider, the other kind of blenders, the other kind of brands that are off on their own. I'm talking about like Pipeworks and Wilkie, McCranny's. Who's the other one? I can't think. I'm gonna kick myself when I'm done because I'm gonna remember. The Boswells. Oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot Boswells. All those smaller ones that are, to me, those are what I call gourmet, if you will, tobaccos, and that's only because they're really, really good. All those smaller places that only sell their own blends, I think you're always going to find a better quality tobacco in all those places. Boswell's, in my opinion, being the best. That's where Northwoods comes from, which, if I could say, hey, start off with if you want to start off with a hearty English, I would say go with Boswell's Northwoods. But yeah, there's places like that, McCranny's, for instance, great place to start with, and I mean, all their tobaccos are just rich, full, sweet. Tobaccos that they use, the Latakia that they use is amazing. Just, I think that the flavor that you get out of those kind of smaller places is going to be a lot better than you can get from any other place, in my opinion. Because I think they just tend to probably take a little more time in preparing, maybe a little bit more care in preparing, of course, because they're smaller, they can do that. But yeah, I guess that's my advice for you guys. And I'm sorry this is going super, super long. Hopefully somebody will watch it. But anyway, so that's my advice, guys. Don't be afraid to start off kind of like at the top. Don't start off at the bottom. Start off at the top and work your way down instead of just starting off at the bottom and working your way up. That's just too hard. Give yourself the opportunity to experience flavor when smoking instead of just experiencing smoking and smoke that might otherwise put you off to something that can be very enjoyable and extremely delicious if you know what to smoke. So there you go. It's 15 minutes. I'm really sorry that this is taking too long. But anyway, compadres, comadres, this is where I leave you. As always, thank you for watching. Vayan con Dios.